Hello, in this video, we are continuing with Rich Dad, Poor Dad Lessons by Robert Kiyosaki, and this is video number 22. Join me. Hello, welcome to Take a Step to a Better You. This is a channel I started to share what I know and I continue to learn. And if you're new, my name is Sherifa, Nakalema. I'm a business owner here in Virginia, USA. And I share business tips, YouTube tips, earning money online tips, specifically through affiliate marketing. And I also record motivational videos to ask you to take a step to make your life better. And recently I added books. This is a video about books. We are reviewing Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and we are continuing. This is lesson, our video number 22. Actually, it's lesson 2, but we are in video number 22. If any of that sounds interesting, or even just the idea of making our life better is interesting, please consider subscribing and click on the bell so you know when I have new videos here. And also leaving me a comment. Please don't leave without leaving a comment. Whatever you feel while you are here with me is what you put in the comment. And at the end of this video, I'll share the details of what I do on this channel as far as the schedule, and also how you can get this book, both audio and a physical book. For those of you who have been here, coming back and keep coming back, I appreciate you very much. And I hope you're always subscribed. And always, I appreciate you who leave comments. Appreciate them very, very much. We are continuing with lesson 22. I keep saying lesson, but I mean video. Video number 22. And this is chapter 2 of the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the lesson is 2. Video 22, lesson 2. And the lesson is why teach financial literacy. Why teach financial literacy? Why is it important? And the book, I always remind you, is written by Robert Kiyosaki. And Robert is a self-made millionaire, entrepreneur, educator, investor, and with a mission to educate, to elevate the financial well-being of humanity, starting with one life and one person at a time. I don't want to mess up his mission. I'm going to read it again because I said educate. To elevate the financial well-being of humanity, starting with one life and one person at a time. When you see me reading, it means these are things that came directly from the book. Because when I use my own words, I just called it educate, but actually it's elevate. So elevate. I had to read it again. And it's called Rich Dad. He named it Rich Dad, Poor Dad because of his two dads. He called them two dads. The poor dad was his real father, who was a very intelligent man, highly educated with a PhD, and he was a superintendent of education, but he ended up dying broke. That's why there are lessons. And then the rich dad is the dad to his friend Mike, and they were in school starting age 9 together. So, and he is learning from Rich Dad, who left school at the age of 13. That was 8th grade, and ended up being one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. I keep mentioning, please, it doesn't mean leave school. Stay in school because you need it. But this was a unique example, and we are learning from him. Now, I always go back to where we ended the previous lesson so that we remind ourselves and catch up and keep going. So 21, we ended it. In fact, instead of writing today, I decided I'll just go straight to the book because normally I get it out, but it slows down the process. So we ended, I'm going to remind you where we ended. Video number 21, because this is 22. We ended it when Robert was saying that more money seldom solves someone's money problems. Intelligence solves problems. There is a saying a friend of mine uses over and over to people in debt. If you find you have dug yourself into a hole, stop digging. That's where we ended video 21. But now he's continuing. That's Robert. As a child, my dad often told us that the Japanese were aware of three powers: the power of the sword, the power of the jewel, and the power of the mirror. Or he said, the power of the sword, the jewel, and the mirror. The sword symbolizes the power of weapons. America has spent trillions of dollars on weapons, and because of this, is a powerful military presence in the world. The jewel symbolizes the power of money. There is some degree of truth to the saying, remember the golden rule? He who has the gold makes the rules. The mirror symbolizes the power of self-knowledge. This self-knowledge, according to the Japanese legend, was the most treasured of the three. All too often, the poor and the middle class allow the power of money to control them. By simply getting up and working harder, failing to ask themselves if what they do makes sense, they shoot themselves in the foot as they leave for work every morning. By not fully understanding money, the vast majority of people allow its awesome power to control them. If they used the power of the mirror, they would have asked themselves, does this make sense? All too often, instead of trusting their inner wisdom, that genius inside, most people follow the crowd. They do things because everybody else does them. They conform rather than question. Often, they mindlessly repeat what they have been told. Diversify, your home is an asset, your home is your biggest investment, you get a tax break for going into greater debt, get a safe job, don't make mistakes, don't take risks. All these are quotes, like what people say. It is said that the fear of public speaking is a fear greater than death for most people, according to psychiatrists. The fear of public speaking is caused by the fear of ostracism, the fear of standing out, the fear of criticism, the fear of ridicule, and the fear of being an outcast. The fear of being different prevents most people from seeking new ways to solve their problems. That's why my educated dad, that's his dad, said that the Japanese valued the power of the mirror the most. For it's only when we look into it that we find truth. Fear is the main reason that people say, play it safe. That goes for anything, be it sports, relationships, careers, or money. It is that same fear, the fear of ostracism, that causes people to conform to and not question commonly accepted opinions or popular trends. Now he's starting the quotes. Your home is an asset. Get a bill consolidated loan and get out of debt. Work harder. It's a promotion. Someday I'll be a vice president. Save money. When I get a raise, I'll buy us a bigger house. Mutual funds are safe. All these are quotes, like what people say. Many financial problems are caused by trying to keep up with the Joneses. Occasionally, we all need to look into the mirror and be true to our inner wisdom rather than our fears. By the time Mike and I were 16, remember it's Robert telling all this. By the time Mike and I were 16 years old, we began to have problems in school. We're not bad kids. We just began to separate from the crowd. We worked for Mike's dad after school and on weekends. Mike and I often spent hours after work just sitting at a table with his dad while he held meetings with his bankers, attorneys, accountants, brokers, investors, managers, and employees. Here was a man who had left school at 13, who was now directing, instructing, ordering, and asking questions of educated people. They came at his beck and call and cringed when he didn't approve of them. Here was a man who had not gone along with the crowd. He was a man who did his own thinking and detested the words. He didn't like these words. We have to do it this way because that's the way everyone else does it. He also hated the word can't, or cannot. If you wanted him to do something, just say, I don't think you can do it. Like if you said, I don't think you can do it, that gave him more energy to do it. Okay, Mike and I learned more sitting in on his meetings than we did in all our years of school, college included. Mike's dad was not book smart, but he was financially educated and successful as a result. He told us over and over again, an intelligent person, this report, an intelligent person hires people who are more intelligent than he is. So Mike and I had the benefit of spending hours listening and learning from intelligent people. But because of this, Mike and I couldn't go along with the standard dogma our teachers preached, and that caused problems. Whenever the teacher said, if you don't get good grades, you won't do well in the real world, Mike and I just raised our eyebrows. When we were told to follow set procedures and not deviate from the rules, we could see how school discouraged creativity. We started to understand why our rich dad told us that schools were designed to produce good employees instead of employers. Occasionally, Mike or I ask our teachers how what we studied was applicable in the real world, or why we never studied money and how it worked. To the latter question, we often got the answer that money was not important, that if we excelled in our education, then money would follow. The more we knew about the power of money, the more distant we grew from the teachers and our classmates. My highly educated dad never pressured me about my grades, but that's his real father. But we did begin to argue about money. By the time I was 16, I probably had a far better foundation with money than both my parents. I could keep books. I listened to tax accountants, corporate attorneys, bankers, real estate brokers, investors, and so forth. By contrast, my dad talked only to other teachers. One day, my dad told me that our home was his greatest investment. A not too pleasant argument took place when I showed him why I thought a house was not a good investment. I'm going to stop here because this starts a discussion he does about houses and being investment or not investment. That's where I'll end today, with him arguing with his father about his house not being an investment. But he has two notes. Remember, he puts notes that I get out. So today he has two notes. One is wanted you to remember this, that a person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially literate. I'm going to read that again. A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. Point number 2 is he gives this a title, Who is on your team? Rich Dad surrounded himself with men and women who are specialists, attorneys, accountants, brokers, and bankers. And Kim and I have done the same. Today, our team of advisors is among our greatest assets. What's more important than money? An entrepreneur's team. Who is on yours? Like, who is on your team? That's what he's asking. So that's the end of today's lesson video. Today, I don't know why lesson is what comes up. Today's video, number 22. I also had something to add with that because he asked who is on your team. He's asking you, and I want to answer mine. My part, that the most important person on my team. You know, I'm a business owner. I have a company. I have Honest Soul. You see Honest Soul, the website? My company is called Honest Soul Incorporated. And it's an S corporation. So the person on my team that I value the most is my CPA, certified public accountant, because she's been a very valuable asset. You know, here in USA, I think even everywhere, taxes keep changing. Things keep changing. Whenever I hear an election in USA, something is going to change. The tax code, they cut taxes, they raise taxes, things change. So my CPA always, I don't even have to worry about it. They know the updates, things that are changing, things are going more online. I remember when we started off, I'll tell a story like, I remember when Barack Obama, before he was president, to pay the taxes, the payroll taxes that you have to deposit to the federal government, you had to take them to the bank. You had to go to the bank to make a deposit. But I remember when Obama's time, they decided to make everything, to take it out of the banks and just we pay directly to the federal system, to the IRS. There's done this website where you have to go and just make your deposit, just connect to your bank account. It became so easy. So those kind of things, my CPA will tell me, oh, now it's all automated. Now you can do it over there. So I value my accountant. She's on my team. That's a female. And I value her very much. So what about you? Who is on your team? By the way, to run a business, you need like an advisor, like an accountant especially, but also like a lawyer. Even if they are not like fully, like you have to pay like continuously, but at least someone to consult, because it can get complicated. Okay, that's the video, but now let's go to those people. If you are new, my schedule here is daily. I record videos every day, upload every day, except Friday. Fridays I go live, and all this happens at 1 p.m. USA Eastern Time, the books and the live. But then on Thursdays and on Sundays, 30 minutes earlier, which is 12:30 p.m. USA Eastern Time, I have different kind of videos. On Thursdays, it tends to be YouTube tips, business tips. On Sundays, I do what I call my main message for everyone, which is a motivational video. I try to do that on Sundays, 30 minutes earlier. So on Thursdays and on Sundays, I have two videos. One earlier would be business tips or YouTube tips on Thursdays, and then the books still comes. And then on Sunday, the same thing. Motivation first, and the book still comes. I want to grow this community of the people who are interested in the books, because this is so, so important. Teach your children, because you can make a difference in their lives. Maybe they'll end up being better off than you. Or maybe it's not too late for you either. You can, like the discussion we've been having, the difference between asset and liability. If you learn all this, if you do this early enough, you can save yourself from financial problems. For those who want to have a copy of this, Audible is free for 1 month. When you have this book, I have a link below the description. It takes you to Audible, but through my website. Because of associate rules, I'm an associate of Amazon. I have to go through my website. That's where the link is. And you're going to find, when you click on it, it takes you to podcasts, and it's called Podcasts and Audible. So you click on that, but make sure you are choosing the Premium Plus, Audible Premium Plus. There is Audible Plus. It has all the other books and podcasts and everything. In fact, very interesting what they have over there for free for 1 month. But this one, you're not going to find it in the regular catalog. It's a premium book. So they call it Audible Premium Plus. That's where I find this. And then you have to get like a credit. They offer you credit by just signing up, and then you can listen to it. You can either download it onto your phone or just listen without downloading. Okay, that's that. And I have to mention to you that I'm actually an associate of Amazon. So anyone who wants to shop Amazon, please use my page. You don't lose anything. Just go through my page. It helps a little bit with the expenses of running whatever I'm running. Okay, so share my page with anyone who shops Amazon.com USA though. It's a USA one. The one I'm promoting. Okay, but this one is free for 1 month. Only if you choose to continue with it. But for me, I want to offer you free here. You get, let's get to 50. I figure out a way to share my password. So you can learn, you can go listen for free. Like I always end these videos, I say, take care of yourself, take care of your families, take care of your health, take a step to a better you, but please leave a comment. Leave a comment and don't forget, a like and leave a comment. Assuming you liked it, assuming you appreciate a little bit of what I put in, I record videos every day. So please support this message and share the videos. Bye-bye.